the Liberal government has put forward a bill that will freeze handguns. We haven't banned them. We have put forward a freeze, and in fact, I will say, and I will give credit to Ken Price, because I remember very distinctly having a meeting with him, Chair, where he said, "Look, I would love to have handguns banned tomorrow. We had too much devastation on the Danforth, but maybe we freeze them, and it takes them out of circulation eventually." Handguns are not something that I think the vast majority of Canadians, when they're polled, support what we're doing in Bill C-21. I see Mr. Kirk doesn't quite agree with me there, but that's the truth. That when you ask Canadians whether they support a freeze on handguns, they do support this.
Thank you. So, Mr. Blois, you have 15 seconds left.
Mr. Chair, I just, if I had more time, I would have given the perspective from rural Canada, from where I sit on this particular issue, but I probably have just a few more seconds. So unfortunately, I'll have to save that for third reading in the House. Thank you.
Unanimous consent to let him have some more he has to say?
Give him more time.
Yeah. There is a request for unanimous consent to give to give 5 minutes more time for another round, I guess, of questions, of answers.
Yeah, Mr. Chair, the way it works is it's another 20 minutes
Right.
by UC. I'm certainly willing to provide it.
I'm only asking for 5 minutes for Mr. Blois.
Well, it works, as Mr. Julian said. So do we have unanimous consent to extend another 20 minutes? No? Okay. That being the case, is there any further discussion on Mr. Please.
Well, I, for one, was very interested in what Mr. Blois had to say. A Liberal perspective from rural Canada is an increasingly rare thing to hear these days in the halls of Parliament, and I thought hearing something like that would have been truly a very interesting thing to hear, but unfortunately the Liberal Party would not they muzzled their own member, wouldn't let him speak, but we are where we are. You know, this is not a move about public safety. You know, I understand the Danforth families, and I feel for them, and Mr. Moff was correct. I mean, firearm stolen, a legal firearm in the hands of a killer. It was stolen from a gun shop. But we have an epidemic of smuggled firearms on the street. If it hadn't been a gun stolen from a gun shop, it would have been a gun smuggled in from the United States. These criminals are determined to get these firearms, and despite our best efforts, they are getting them. And more needs to be done. And, you know, Mr. Chair, am I able to offer my time to Mr. Blois?
I don't think that's within the spirit of the motion from the House.
Okay, well, I'll just continue on with what I have to say. Yep. Point of order. Is there anything, does the clerk have any perspective on that?
It requires unanimous consent of the House order to extend debate on an amendment.
Give our time. Can we cede our time?
Yeah.
Like a minute of our time. We quite often share during committee questions.
Just ask the advice.
With unanimous
minutes,
consent,
so.
we can do pretty much anything. So, do we have unanimous consent for some of the Conservative time to be used by Mr. Blois?
Could we just suspend for a couple minutes, Chair?
We'll suspend at the call of the chair for a few minutes.